artificial intelligence is going to help us immensely in the job of creating more beautiful images.
This is a CineD Gear News video, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi guys, I'm Johnnie from CineD, and I'm here with Dado from Color Intelligence. Dado, how are you?
I'm very good, Johnnie. Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Let's start with actually reminding people what is Colourlab Ai.
Colourlab Ai is our attempt to change the way how we color grade images. We believe that color grading hasn't really evolved in terms of how we color grade since it was created maybe 20, 30 years ago. And we are strong believers that artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to help us immensely in the job of creating more beautiful images. And Colourlab Ai is exactly that, is taking this beautiful new technology and merging it into like a creative tool that is just going to allow people to be more creative and more fluid in color grading images, less manual and more automated and faster.
As an independent film creator, I'm fully into this, and I'm very curious to hear what is new in version 2.
So, you see, the version 1 was really oriented for the professional post-production market, and we had a great success with application. We have adoption rate of more than 10% of the world's top post-production companies have adopted Colourlab in their workflow, which was great thing for us. We figured, okay, we have created something that obviously works. But with version 2, we have moved our focus to independent filmmaker, to creator, digital creator, somebody who's not a professional post-production company, and it doesn't necessarily operate in Hollywood, but someone who creates videos daily for their living, and they just need solution to help them in that task. They don't want to be professional colorists necessary, but they want their images to look beautiful. They want their footage to look finished. They want to give that special touch that you get from color grading once you have completed your edit.
So you were thinking about me when you developed version 2, actually.
As an inspiration, I really felt like, this is the future. And I have to tell you, Johnnie, ever since I started getting involved more with the digital creator world, I have found myself feeling as excited as when I was starting in this business, making music videos and grading them late at night. And that level of creativity and excitement that we had back then when it was just starting, I feel it's happening now within the digital content creator world. This is really where I see a lot of new talent, great people are emerging there that potentially one day are going to end up being big directors like David Fincher is today.
Okay, but before everybody get a big director or whatever, and we want everybody to succeed, let's please talk about the new features in version 2.
So the main thing that we had to do in order to make Colourlab more appealing to the content creator was to make it work with software that they use. So the great news is now it's deeply integrated. We call it a deep integration. It's a one-click integration between Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro. We are still supporting DaVinci Resolve, which is a great editing tool as well. And we also support LiveGrade, but this is more for DITs. So basically, you have one-click deep integration between Colourlab's AI engine and application, Adobe Premiere, and Final Cut. And this is the most elegant integration that we were able to come up with.
So this is not an independent application. You're actually opening it from within your editing software.
Correct. So what we did is we have taken our image processing engine, which, by the way, it's on a level to what professional color grading systems have, like DaVinci Baseline. So we are using this scene-referred image processing engine, and we made it as a plugin that then can sit on every clip inside your editing application. But what you do is you control that plugin using a full user interface of Colourlab application, which is a separate application where you do all of your grading, all of your matching, all of the AI happens in there. But the ultimately result is just a little piece of metadata that gets transmitted to the plugin inside Adobe or Final Cut. So that way, you don't have to render anything. You're completely non-destructive. You can work in Premiere and in Colourlab, and you can move back and forth during your creative color grading process.
Okay, so that's number one, full integration with Adobe Premiere now and Final Cut Pro. What's next on the plate?
The next thing we did is we have understood how much creators love show LUTs. LUTs. I mean, it's just amazing, that how much money and time they spend searching for libraries and downloading LUTs. So we decided that if they were to buy Colourlab Ai, that they will never need to buy another LUT again. So we're going to supply our application with a library of looks, ready-made looks, LUTs, and we also have committed to work with some of the most accomplished look designers, LUT creators, who will also be developing for applications. So you can expect that through the subscription process, we will be constantly, with every upgrade, adding more and another extended library of looks. So this is just something that people love, that they just want to click on the profile and start working from there.
And those LUTs will be developed per specific cameras, or they're going to be more like generic LUTs?
You see, this is an interesting point because, because Colourlab works as a high-end image processing engine and it's color managed, our LUTs are completely camera independent. You can use them with any camera. And now we are adding cameras like GoPros, like DJI, like, action camera, all of those cameras, iPhone, HDR. And the same LUT is going to work across all of the cameras that we support. So actually, it reduces the amount of clutter and files that you have to hold on your computer just to support one particular camera. You don't have to have a separate look just for that. It's one look for all cameras the same.
Next thing.
The next thing that we did is we have developed an auto color. I was really reluctant to go into this whole auto color because I remember when I started, as a colorist, almost 20 years ago, my teacher told me, never touch auto color button. With AI now, the auto color has just got smarter. So what we do is we, of course, differently auto-color a close-up than a wide, an interior or exterior, a day shot or night shot. It's not just one auto-color for everything. We really know what your content of your shot is, and we're going to go and balance it. And also, we were able to add a little bit more fidelity into this auto-color, not just to make it look like standard video 709 look, but we're trying to give it some cinematic quality, like we're trying to roll off little highlight, add a little, warmth to the skin. So these are all things that when we kind of realized how good, the auto color has become, we decided it's a time for us to put it. And this is just for people, let's say I'm an editor, I don't really want to apply a look to it and stylize the footage. I just want to start editing with something that's nicely balanced and beautifully distributed. I can just load my sequence, press auto color on it, and start working effectively. The machine's just going to do everything for you.
Does it matter if my sequence is on a flat picture profile or already has some embedded colors? How the auto color is actually working?
So when you move your material, the first thing that happens is we analyze your material and then we assist by choosing the source. So this source is important. You have to let Colourlab know, hey, this is a flat log. No problem, we support every logs. But maybe this is not log, this is some 709. That's also fine. We also support all of that. And that gets handled, and what we were handling this already as a part of our camera matching algorithm. So that already kind of is taken care of. What auto color is going to do is going to try to balance it based on your display selection. So if you selected, I want to work in Rec 709, we're going to try to balance it at your 709 output is fine. But if you choose also to work in HDR, autocolor works perfectly in HDR as well, because all image processing we do is in scene referred color space. That means we can adapt your output to any screen that you choose to want to work with. Now, content creators today think like, HDR, do I really need it? But I believe that it's actually coming quicker than we think. I actually believe that, probably by the end of this year, some of the, corporate clients or just, people who just want to have their images look better are going to start demanding HDR.
Is there anything else new?
So when we asked our users what is it that they like about our application the most, they have answered Look Designer, and this is by far the most popular feature inside our application. And Look Designer is this image processing engine that is emulating film. It's working subtractively, and it has a huge library of different film stocks, and it just helps you in a very easy way to create looks that have this kind of organic analog feel. So we spend a lot of time and effort to optimize Look Designer in terms of its interface, in terms of its usability, in terms of its kind of, just to give user a way to express themselves more creatively through Look Designer. So I believe that we have created even better look design engine. Like I have actually, got incredibly positive response from first, beta testers, and as you can see from the interface, you will be able to see that we've taken an inspiration from old analog equipment in order to kind of, really help you, get more tactile with, image manipulation.
By the way, that's a completely new interface, if I remember from the first version.
Correct. Everything has been completely rewritten, and this is just something we had to do anyway because we are moving in direction of Windows release, and that was something that we had to really start developing in such a way that we can then just, transform this application into Windows as soon as, we start development in that. And I believe it's going to happen as soon as this release has been completed.
Good. Anything new with this version before I move to my next question?
Actually, the most important new feature, it's called timeline intelligence. And I believe that this is a new frontier in what artificial intelligence is going to do for us. Many people have tried to do it in the past and have not necessarily succeeded. But one of the things that you as a colorist or as an editor really need to do is you need to organize your footage and media in more meaningful way to be able to work with. And the truth is that professional colorists, they don't work necessarily in linear fashion. They don't work first shot to the last shot. They actually like to group images based on type of shots or similarity or scenes. Or, let's say I'm a documentary filmmaker. I want all of my interviews graded together at once because I want them all to look the same. I want these locations to look the same. I want all the exteriors, all my days. And timeline intelligence is doing that for you. So timeline intelligence is a feature where you can just click on an image, click on a clip, and we're going to discover what other clips on your timeline are similar and matching and so on, but using our image processing engine, using our AI models that are developed for this footage, and much more successful than like a standard image analysis tools that you can find on the market with other applications.
One question that I have, and this is regarding Adobe Premiere, because I use most of the time Adobe Premiere for editing my footage. And one of the issues with Adobe Premiere, when you export the video, the final video, sometimes the colors are actually not the same as you intended.
Yes.
How do you overcome that issue, or actually this is more on the Adobe side and there is no way to overcome this?
Yes, this issue actually is just something that I kind of find really sad that manufacturers didn't really synchronize on this color management system that Apple built in. I think, that once you adopt that color management that Apple is giving you, it's actually an enjoyable ride. But right now, because not all applications understand this called tagging system of your files and all the color adaptations and everything that needs to happen, we get these shifts in results. So we have actually created special display profiles for Final Cut users, because interestingly, like if you open the same clip in Final Cut, it's going to look different inside Final Cut than if you open it inside Premiere. And this is just opening it, right? I'm not even talking about rendering the final result. It's like already on the beginning, you start getting different results. So we really worked hard. We actually really had to reverse engineer a lot of processing that happens inside this application in order to help with that, okay? So what we can certainly control incredibly well is that if you render from our application, we handle all of this tagging incredibly well and give you all the options to how you can best optimize your image for further distribution, depending if it's online, if it's going to go, to some sort of only Apple devices or whatever. You're going to need to maybe pass it on to a second stage of processing or something like that. But what we are not able to do is change how Premiere is handling its renders. But what we can help you with is we can apply you different output profiles where we know that if you use this app profile, you are going to get correct results once you render, right? So we have, trust me, Johnny, I have spent many days and nights trying to figure this out and connect the dots. And once I have connected, it all made sense. I understood. So actually, I really hope that, through, some of the training that we're going to provide, we're going to be able to completely elevate this situation with, gamma shifts and different looks that you get on a render stage.
That sounds really interesting, and I'm very much looking forward. I'm very curious to see how it will look and how it will behave in real production and in one of those things or camera reviews that I'm doing. My next question is more about, you now actually have 2 versions of your software. Why is that?
This is actually probably the best news, So there was no point for us, in developing application for the creative market. It's not going to be able to be affordable for them. So we've understood, that, and we analyzed and we surveyed the market, and we figured that what we had to do is we had to create an entry-level application. So there is something called Colourlab Ai Creator that cost only $129, and we believe it's a yearly subscription. We are remaining yearly subscription, but we do allow for professional versions to be bought in entirety. So if you want to be professional users and you want to own the application, we allow that as well. So you don't have to subscribe if you don't like subscriptions. You can buy Pro. But I believe that the best value for everybody out there is going to be this annual subscription of $100-something, which basically is going to give you constant updates, new features, new showlets, new libraries, new everything, and also is going to allow us to continue developing application that way. Then we have a Pro version, and Pro version has also been reduced in price. So with Pro version, you get plugins and application for only $299 per year. So we have really, really listened to our users and understood, where, the problems are or what they were suggesting or what they felt would be better with our application. But John, you also have to understand, we now have already, so many users that actually it makes sense for us, to start making this application more affordable. On a version 1, there was just a few people using it. Now, as I said, there is more than 10% of post-production companies in the world who have adopted it. So it really made it better and easier process for us to be able to make the application more affordable.
For those that already have version 1, how are they going to enroll to version 2?
So on 22nd of February 22 at 2:22, the version 2 was released, and it has just appeared in our users account, and the discount, for the version that, 2 is going to be applied to everybody, and nobody has to do anything about it. If you own version 1, version 2 is yours.
In terms of the differences, the actual differences between the creator version and the Pro version, I guess you can find all the information in your website, but just very quickly, because you were talking about plugins, what does that mean?
So basically the difference is that the creator version doesn't get DaVinci Resolve plugins, that are extremely popular, and they, by the way, work on Windows as well. So for people who want to use our beautiful image processing, they can already start using our plugins. It doesn't have the look designer. Actually, you're going to be able to use all the LUTs and profiles, but you won't be able to design your own LUTs. That's basically the biggest limitation. And also, it won't have an SDI output, and it won't have a tangent control. But everything else is going to be exactly the same. The Pro version, on the other side, has got all bells and whistles, all the Pro stuff that we have built for it. and most importantly, the look designer stage that is just allowing people to, be creative in look design in their own way.
Dado, anything from your side before I say thank you and goodbye?
We are happy to reach out to your subscribers, and we are giving away $20 of the annual subscription of Colourlab Creator or Colourlab Pro. And also another thing, if you just want to really just try out Colourlab, it's a free download and you get 7 days fully functioning trial with no registration. And I really hope that people are going to start warming up to the idea that color grading can be fun again and that AI can really help us in that job.
Great, Dado, what can I say? If the audience can benefit from our conversation, that makes me happy. So, thank you very much for your time. It was really a pleasure talking to you. And as always, I'm looking forward for the next opportunity.
Me too. Thank you, Johnnie. Have a nice day. Thanks.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.